The Operation Refresh initiative has seen several clinics across the length and breadth of Jamaica being renovated. When you see the before and after pictures and indeed the videos where clinics are opened, you see considerably greater dignity being brought to the men and women who work in these facilities. Because what we need to appreciate is that members of the public who go to these facilities for care, they need to be provided with service in a certain condition and in an environment that befits public health service delivery. But you have to spare a thought for the men and women who actually work at these places. And so I am placing on the table this morning that our clinics, in terms of the renovation, in terms of the fixtures and fittings with which they have now been outfitted, courtesy of your tax dollars under the watch of Dr. Christopher Tufton, is far improved and much better today than they were when the PNP was in office. Have to say that in very, very clear terms. Because if you listen to some, you will get the impression that no strides are being made, nothing is being done, and nothing could be further from the truth. That could not be further from the truth. Jamaica is at a point now where it is even producing its own medical oxygen. You recall during COVID when we had to be purchasing oxygen, we now have local capacity as it relates to the production of oxygen, the manufacturing of oxygen, medical oxygen that is. I gather we have a call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Straight Up.
Morning, Marlon.
Morning, Mr. Marsh.
Me listen to you. Say,
yeah, man, challenge anything, may I say. If you're good like that.
The award for life and jackass of the year gone to you. Nobody can take it. Have a great day. You take Jamaican people for fool.
Continue to listen this guy. Continue to listen this. Yeah, man, hear him. He has to. He can't have a discussion or engage and whatnot. Yeah? So just to be very clear, and much to the chagrin of Marsh and other deplorables. Yeah? Just to be very clear. In much the same way that you have seen rehabilitation of our police stations, and these things are facts. These are not figments of my imagination, Mr. Marsh. Go to Olympic Way and look at the police station. Go to Shady Grove. Country, who calls in from North America, is very familiar with that space. It is situated in St. Catherine Northwestern. Go and look at the police station built by Labour. Yeah? Travel up and down the country and look at the clinic. I just saw one on the on social media, I think it was last night, where the women, the nurse assistants and nurses who work at the Steertown Health Center were singing Dr. Tufton's praises because they have gotten considerable overhaul of their facility there in Steertown, and they are delighted, and the government is delighted to do these things. Yes, government is delighted because guess what? The Jamaican people deserve it. They deserve a different Jamaica, Mr. Marsh, from the Jamaica over which your Percival Noel James Patterson presided. That's why people like myself have zero time for that gentleman. Zero time for that 90-year-old gentleman, Percival Noel James Patterson. It is very good, I believe, it is very good that he is alive to see how country for run. I think it is very fitting that he's here to witness it. An absolutely different Jamaica. Mario Dean, Mr. Marsh, lost his life on account of the injuries he sustained. How he came to sustain those injuries, we are not litigating on this program, and we are not getting into. We know what the allegations are. Yeah? We're not litigating that. But just to be very clear, the doctor who testified at trial made the point that Mario Dean was unable to get the care he needed. That is the takeaway from that physician's testimony. Whether you like it or not, Portia Simpson Miller was the Prime Minister at the time, and Fenton Ferguson, the man who said premature babies are not babies in the real sense. I don't know what kind of other babies they are. I don't know if you have Adidas baby and Puma and Nike baby. Yeah? I don't know if you have Toyota baby and Honda baby. When I go to shop at to get auto parts, they would ask you genuine or non-genuine. So I don't know if that's what Fenton Ferguson was alluding to. You have genuine babies and you have non-genuine. When you go to the dispensary, Mr. Marsh, they will tell you that, boy, they don't have this, but they have the generic version. So is it that premature babies were generic or are generic babies? So you have real baby, regular baby, and generic ones? Give me a break. Fenton Ferguson was a complete disaster as health minister, whether you like it or not. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Straight Up.
Yes, Mr. Marlon Marvin. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Mr. Milton.
Boy, you can certainly beat a dead horse.
I like that characterization, Milton. You know why? You say I'm beating a dead horse, and to my mind, I am clear on who and what I am beating, and that is the PNP. So
I know that
it's instructive that you are characterizing the PNP with which you sympathize as a dead horse.
You are talking about the PNP administration and what good on, and we have been told by the present leader and Prime Minister that the party, the administration has spent more money than any administration, and in reality, that's not the case. So what is not the case? More than anything else, Mr. Marvin.
No, what is not the case, Mr. Milton, that the administration, this administration, has not spent more money than you guys did? That is not up for debate, sir. That is not up for debate.
You want to calculate the difference in terms of goods and services for the administration. This one in comparison to farmer administration, and who get more goods and services out of the money that they spend.
Mrs. Simpson Miller Milton, sir, Mr. Milton, Mrs. Simpson Miller was very clear when she spoke, and she was very instructive. Mrs. Simpson Miller told Jamaica when she was Prime Minister that they do less with more money. She was very
big
clear.
Man.
You remember that?
Big man. All of me say.
Mrs. Simpson Miller told no lie.
With the job of governance, right? And stop. The party is very important, you know, because the party can look at the part and shape the future going. But when you are harping on the part for the purpose of the country for the Labour Party get the third term, and what ground, you can't just have this kind of PNP. So if you want to
so, Sir Milton, let us walk through a couple of things. Zane?
No walk so far, you know, because...
Hold on. Just hold on, man. Sir Milton, let us just walk through a couple of things, because we are reasoning out a couple of things. On the political hustings at present is an opposition party seeking to be elected to office, highlighting certain deficits in our current public healthcare system. Isn't that the case? The answer is yes. So now.
His answer is what?
The answer is yes. I'm saying the answer is yes.
Yes to what?
The PNP is highlighting on the political stump certain deficits in the public healthcare system. That is in fact the case. So now, The points I am making.
You ask the question and answer.
Yeah, man, because it's a rhetorical one. I don't want you to unduly detain. So now.
Anyway.
We're not reach anywhere yet, man. I understand that. All right. Let me hear from you then, Milton. So let me go back with the question again and do it the proper way. Is the PNP on the political platform raising concerns and issues and highlighting what they refer to as gaps and deficits in the public healthcare system? Is that the case, yes or no?
That goes without saying, sir. That's really the case. But all I'm saying, Mr. Tufton,
you can't call me anything, man.
All I'm saying, sir, the most honorable Prime Minister, you know, you and I know, of all the Prime Ministers, he found wanted in his job more than anyone. Would you agree with that, sir?
Sir, the Prime Minister is wanted by the Jamaican people for a third term.
You know.
I am just coming from a meeting, Mr. Milton, where it has come to the fore that the Prime Minister will be at in three different constituencies tomorrow to hand out no fewer than 7 different houses under the new social housing program. And we had to be asking ourselves at the meeting a while ago, how the man managed to be doing so many things and packing so many things into one day.
The Prime Minister, the Prime Minister of Jamaica,
this is something about found wanting.
He found more wanting because right now he took an entity of the state to court.
Is the Prime Minister, is the Prime Minister, Sir Milton, watch me now. Is the Prime Minister a subject of Jamaican law?
No, don't get me wrong, no, you know. The Prime Minister have the constitutional right to take anything to court, you know, but he can't remain Prime Minister.
Mr. Milton, did the PNP, did Omar Davies take the Office of the Contractor General to court? You remember that matter? I'm asking you the question.
Over the world system, the Minister of Finance doesn't have that, you know, sir. You know that? So be careful of your statement.
Sir, did the PNP take the Office of the Contractor General to court? You see the same IC that we now have? In a previous incarnation, they were the Office of the Contractor General because there are 3 entities that have since merged to become the IC.
Compare a minister with a Prime Minister, you should know better than that.
It's a concept that matters, Mr. Milton, so help yourself to understand this.
But I'm only making notes of the Prime Minister while we are going to follow our Prime in phone one.
Yeah, man, so we hear that. So hear this now. So Milton, I have heard that. I'm going to ask you to pause. Hold on, man. We don't want to talk at the same time, Milton, man. I could do the thing orderly. I could do the thing orderly. I could do the thing orderly. Let me do the thing. Let us do the thing orderly. Yeah, Milton, let us do the thing orderly.
Right?
Let us let us examine the concept. Let us understand the concept now. Any citizen in the country, because separate and apart from being Prime Minister or holding any office you hold, you have certain obligations, responsibilities and duties under law. If you feel aggrieved about any matter whatsoever, you have certain remedies available to you. So for the Prime Minister, we don't want to talk at the same time, Mr. Milton. Mr. Milton, I don't want us to talk at the same time, sir. I'm just going to ask you to allow me to say what I'm saying, and then you will come back and say what you're saying, right? Because do it in an orderly fashion. So now, the Prime Minister, in circumstances where the Integrity Commission undertook an investigation and published and submitted a certain report, and the Prime Minister feels that he has grounds to pursue judicial review, which he has gotten leave from the court to do, is well within his right, Milton, so to do.
Big man.
Yes, sir.
Did I tell you the Prime Minister, you know, say, Mr. Dan Webby, your colleague, Senate colleague, Dan Webby is the chairman of Grace Kennedy, right?
Yes, sir.
The group, right?
Well, no longer.
Anyway, when he was
when he headed Grace, yeah. What about it?
Yes, sir. He has the constitutional right to take any one of the subsidiary of Grace Kennedy to court, but he couldn't do it while remaining as the chairman. You know that. So all I am saying, Mr. Morgan, both the PNP and the Labour Party going forward, We want a commitment from them that once you are a prime minister and you feel aggrieved about an entity of the state, either you resign as prime minister and go to court, or you remain as prime minister and make that one go over your head top.
Mr. Milton,
Do you understand?
if the prime minister, God forbid, damn yard and police kick down him door and come do something bad to some member of his household, is the prime minister not to pursue the matter because he is prime minister? Because what you're saying is that to pursue a matter, you have to divest yourself of the office you hold. Milton, I don't want us to talk at the same time, sir. Sir, I listened to you a while ago. I do not want us to speak at the same time. I am Mr. Holness's chief defender, whether you like it or not. And I said it in the Senate as well. Sir, Mr. Milton, I am one of Mr. Holness's chief defenders. You don't understand that?
So as a legislator, you're not defending the interests of the people then.
Mr. Milton, the two things are not mutually exclusive. I am a defender of the Jamaican Constitution.
Mr. Holness, sir. All of me, I tell you, Jamaica people.
While you defend the British man. While you defend the British man. Hold on, man. Don't worry about time. Worry about sweet pepper, scallion, and scotch bonnet pepper. Why is time alone you're talking about?
Pardon me?
Why are you only making reference to time, Mr. Milton?
What time?
You just say something about time and what come from when I come, and I'm asking you about scallion, sweet pepper, and scotch bonnet pepper and onion. What about those?
You're an educated man, you know. Don't be foolish. We are talking about time come for the
anyway, sir, I am putting it to you, Milton. I am putting it to you. Milton, I am putting it to you. Mr. Milton, I am putting it to you. That being a defender of the Constitution of Jamaica and a defender of any person at the same time is not mutually exclusive. The two things can coexist. So I am an unrepentant defender of the Constitution of Jamaica.
Hello, Mr. Maran. Is it true that the FID is understaffed, under-resourced? It is not in a position to investigate the Prime Minister's...
Milton, the FID is appropriately resourced. Yes?
Yeah?
You just asked a question and I am responding to your question. The FID, Milton, which is the Financial Investigations Division, is absolutely and appropriately resourced. Is it true, Milton? Milton, watch me now. You just asked me a question and I'm speaking now. So watch me now. Milton, is it true that Mark Golding protested, yes, against persons in the Mona Commons area because he felt that the settlement of those persons and the occupation of lands in proximity to the Mona Rehab Center was problematic?
Not Milton.
But you just asked me a question. Alright, so the question is, would the FID be the best entity to ask as opposed to me?
The administration respond to the American think tank.
Anyway, Milton, I want to hear your views on this. The doctor in the Mariadine trial said Mariadine was unable to get the care he needed. What do you make of that? Mariadine Milton was unable to get the medical care that he needed because there were no ICU beds available to facilitate Mariadine when he really needed ICU support and service. And it was Fenton Ferguson Milton who was health minister and your good friend Mrs. Simpson Miller who was prime minister.
You're going back to Mrs. Miller in retirement in peace, man.
I can put it to you that she's not enjoying her retirement, sir. I'm putting that to you.
She's not in peace. But
I could put other things to you, but I won't go there. But what I'm saying, let me just say this in short before I put another question to you.
Anyway,
Mrs. Simpson Miller is not enjoying her retirement, sir.
I'm cutting now, you know.
Check her handlers. Let them give you an update on Mrs. Simpson Miller.
he will last by late seats, but the longer it's taking, gonna last by more. I can't tell you that, big man. And when I just say time come, don't mention no.
How about Onion? Onion come too? Skeleton come too?
Sure. We'll talk next time, yeah?
No, man, I want to keep talking now.
No, we'll talk next time.
Why put off to another day what we can achieve today, Milton?
Sorry.
I want you to tell me about the ICU beds when Fenton Ferguson was health minister. So Milton has elected to go. The National Security Ministry attended upon the post-cabinet press briefing yesterday morning. One of the updates that they provided Milton listeners is that up to Tuesday, the percentage reduction in murders in the country since the start of 2025 stood at 39%. So as I am hoping, Milton, not too long from now, Jamaica will be breaking into the 40 bracket in terms of the level, the percentage of reduction in murders. As I keep saying on this program, we know that there are some people who don't like that kind of development. We know. But the truth of the matter is that the police are doing considerable work. Government is providing considerable support, because in addition to the financial resource support that government has provided to the Jamaica Constabulary Force, there is also the business of legislative support, the Firearms Act. Yes, the Firearms Act, very important in the grand scheme of things as it relates to helping Jamaica to put away persons who are into gun running in this country and clutching guns. Gunman forget long time of prison. And we know that them have a certain minimum sentence that they will now get. Morning caller, welcome to Straight Up.
Brother Morgan, where you going with?
Same thing where you are going with, watch and see what are going.
Right now, the most important thing to me right now are the constitution and the changing of the other state, you know.
Most important thing is that, I see.
How do you want to do with that now?
Well, I should ask you, the gentleman who is the opposition leader, Africa,
no, man.
called for...
How long now? Are the Prime Minister in charge now, you know?
Yes, man, we know. And that's why Jamaica, Africa, at this time, based on the Prime Minister's edict and the commissioning of what is called a Constitutional Review Commission, their work has now culminated in a committee of the Parliament, the Constitutional Reform Committee, which is advancing this process, because the government, at the direction of the Prime Minister, has taken the step to approach constitutional reform, the thing you are asking about, Sir Africa, on a phased basis. And this approach is consistent with the approach that was suggested and endorsed by Mark Golding when he spoke back in March 2022. But Mark Golding, as the flip-flopper he is, has since flip-flopped. He has since flip-flopped.
Question. Miss Malawi Fort, you think she should be heading at that thing, yeah?
Yeah, my response is a 3-letter response. YES, yes. You have other views?
So if the PNP did it and them do the same thing, you'd alright with it, huh?
You remember now, constitutional reform is something that we have national consensus on, you know. And the idea, Sir Africa, is that we are not a set of people who agree on everything. So there are aspects of constitutional reform where the views among people and between the two major political parties differ. So the idea is that, all right, let us proceed with the things on which we are agreed, and then some of the things on which we differ, we more, intensely work through those things. And that will mean concessions and those kinds of things.
It's good when they start right, Marlon.
We start right, man.
Nobody affect,
We start right. You want to know? You want to know how we start right? The Prime Minister established a ministry, an entire ministry, to drive this thing. That's the level of the importance and weight the government led by Andrew Holness has placed on this issue of constitutional reform. In January 2022, I think it was, he established what is now known as and what is called the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, and he deployed his then Attorney General Marlene Malawu-Fort, the Member of Parliament for St. James West Central, to head that ministry as minister.
So may I say?
Yes, sir.
So she will be the one who head the constitutional reform.
Yes, sir. Yes, the answer, I've answered it before, and the answer is yes, because she's better to head it than any person you may think of.
Than a private citizen? One of PNP and JLP?
Listen, when an election is contested, Africa, a mandate ensues, and we mustn't take that lightly. It is the same point many people are making in relation to the IC as a commission. Nobody elected them. They are where they are as a result of the authority of the parliament. They are a commission of parliament, and that is why they should operate in a manner that shows that they are accountable and answerable to the people of Jamaica by way of the parliament. Yeah?
All right then. So,
anyway, the team is coming up, sir. Call me back at 10:30, Africa.
Right,
call me back at 10:30. And as usual, it is good to be here, so?
Yeah, man, it's good to be here, man. Very
well. All right, where we are now didn't happen in a PJ Patterson, Jamaica. It didn't happen in a Portia Simpson Miller-led Jamaica. It happened in the Jamaica over which one who some like to castigate and chastise is presiding over. Andrew Michael Holness. No weapon formed against the Prime Minister shall prosper. And the 23rd Psalm is very instructive. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. So Kevin Stevens can undertake an investigation all he likes and can do all kinds of things that are alleged. And we need to get to the bottom of those things as a country. We need to hear from Keisha Prince Kamika, and we need to hear from Mrs. Tamika Fiddler Blake. What was the statement she was seeking to have situated in that report that Kevin Stevenson and the IC elected not to include allegedly? They allegedly elected not to include. What were the things Mrs. Fiddler Blake had an issue with? What conduct or omission on the part of the IC, her colleagues there at the IC, in relation to this Andrew Holness investigation that she was uncomfortable with? Tamika Fiddler Blake resigned her job at the Integrity Commission, and Jamaica needs to know what happened. I will fear no evil. That was a Psalm of David, the 23rd Psalm. And so, for persons who are wondering, how the attempts to take down have not met with success, it is because leaders who are in place based on God's willing, they are there to get a certain job done, and they lead in accordance with divine purpose. Not suggesting for a minute that the Prime Minister is blemish free or flawless. He's human like the rest of us. But make no mistake, the Jamaica over which he is presiding, page 4 of the Observer this morning says it. May murders 50% below last year. Yeah? A 39% reduction in crime. And rural school bus system now in place and being scaled up. By January of 2026, you should have no fewer than 100 buses to take our children to school. We all remember those accidents with students in overloaded taxis. We remember those crashes and deaths of students attending Homewood. And there was that one crash involving some Edwin Island students sometime as well. We remember those things vividly. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Straight Up.
Hello, brother Marlon, me virgin.
Yeah, morning, Sir Fox.
Yeah, man. Well, we say keep the fire burning, me virgin. Some people are claim tell them a fireman, but they're not ready.
and their disciples are having Molly Gripe and Foxy complaint. Mr. Marsh called in earlier. And he couldn't bear to have a dialogue. He just fired a salvo and ran like the coward he is.
Yeah, I get them a very upset smoking on my virgin. Yeah, man, the Marsh, the Hall, the one where they call Salah, the one where they call...
But what they must do, Fox, is challenge what I say. Call and challenge what I say. Don't defame me by saying I am lying. I don't tell lies.
Are you one of them? Are you one of them call the other day and saying, boy, me get free credit and me get paid, but you don't have to do that. You're not going to find me on Belmont Road because so much of us out there are working, my brother. We don't have no time for each of a Belmont Road.
There you go.
You hear me tell you? And we don't feel like them. They are not like us, as the Prime Minister said. But my brother, I want to bring to your attention.
Yes, Fox.
Raymond Price was on Nationwide this morning. And I call it and asked him, what is the plan for the PNP? And the man and Raymond Price couldn't use the time and the opportunity that they have, Senator Morgan.
He spoke about the manifesto and him said the guy will find favor with the manifesto that they will be putting out.
And I tell the guy to the company so later on. But hold on. The caller said to him, so what is the plan that the PNP have to coming into the next election? And he could not say. He's finding the caller to the budget, that the so-called budget that is outdated leader Mark Golding, the British man that provided, and Julia Robinson. He's on a crown and mankind. I wasn't looking for him to lead the PNP one day, but we find him not ready. We find him not half start ready. You hear me, Bridging? And Raymond Price couldn't tell the caller what
Julian Robinson's biggest problem in politics is that he has no backbone.
He has no backbone.
Julian Robinson's problem is that, there are some politicians, and it is his biggest problem. Yes. He seeks to be all things to all men.
All things to all men, right.
That's Julian Robinson's biggest problem in the politics.
Yes, and one everything you must remember is Peter Philip Baker, not the riser. So you must watch for himself too. So my brethren, Marlon, I don't know if you was in the parliament on Tuesday.
I was, sir. I was.
Our minister.
This is Malawi Fort.
Right. She was giving her budget presentation, which I must commend her.
Well, it is called the sectoral debate presentation. So she was making her contribution to the sectoral debate for 25-26.
26. But I must commend her, my brethren.
Yeah.
Not just to remind Mark Golding of him flip-flopping, but also to remind the Jamaican people going into the general election who we have said them a opposition leader want to run country. Them say one thing here, so, and then tomorrow they spin the car and say one other thing. Brother Marlon, we are in a serious time. And if you notice, every Sunday evening, the People National Party find some division to go in a hold a conference. And all them talking about is the one thing. When we turn government, when we this, when we that, and Prime Minister and declaration, that's all. Let me a phone, Marlon, you see no PNP a fix the road? You see no PNP council a turn on the water for the people? When you see them a do, just look what me a phone and look. Right now, if you walk me a phone right now.
Just politicking. Them just a swear off a Callaloo. But as you know, Sir Fox, them say, all the man a swear off a Callaloo, and Callaloo a plan for run our belly. So the Callaloo where them a swear off, they better be careful that Callaloo don't run them belly.
Me say, me brethren, Senator, me say, keep the fire burning. Because all where them attack, all where them a say, this administration with Andrew Holness. I was last week Friday, I want to tell you before me go. Last week Friday, you know where was I? I jumped on a JUTC bus in Ligani going up to Papi, my brethren. And when me look Senator Morgan,
yes, sir,
it was rammed so till it couldn't hold. And I was there in the bus and I was saying to the people, people who open the eye and go out, go mark. One Andrew Holness, I said the people, the whole place bust out a laughing. I mean, no say, both PNP and Labour right.
They on the bus, yeah, man. That's understandable.
You see, when I come out on the bus,
yeah,
I saw some people gather around me. I said, let me tell you something. Me don't know you from nowhere. But remember, I first me to this. Remember when the bus used to run up and down, empty, Senator, empty. And now because of the reduction and the hard work that Minister Val and the Prime Minister have put in. Come now, make a reason, no Marlon, man. The people of Jamaica are getting their lives sorted out. So when you hear the outdated relic, trying to know brother can't tell you, say, pick your last school, hungry, pick your last school, only one time a week.
Fox, you are a senior gentleman to me, Zin?
Yes.
You remember how many years we have had a discussion about a rural school bus system here in Jamaica?
It's a long time.
Watch me now, Fox. Of the 9 prime ministers Jamaica has had so far, which of the 9 has made that a reality, Fox?
The Honorable Andrew Holness, my brethren.
Was it Sir Alexander Bustamante?
No.
Was it Hugh Lawson Shearer?
No.
Was it Michael Joshua Manley?
No.
Was it Philip Edward George Siaga?
No.
Was it Donald Burns Sangster?
No.
Yes. Was it Percival Noel James Patterson?
No. That's all.
Was it Portia Lucretia Simpson Miller?
No.
Was it Orette Bruce Golding?
No.
Is it Andrew Michael Holness?
Yes. The one and only.
The results are in. And what are the results saying? Who is the father?
Andrew is the daddy. Senator Morgan, we say keep the fire burning. And we say we out here are do the grounds work. We are doing the grounds work because, let me tell you something, this decoration thing that ain't going around spreading for the Prime Minister, it's not selling, Morgan. Take it from when they tell you out here, it is not selling.
A guy try a thing, cause just to be clear, Fox.
It's not selling.
Fox, just to be clear. Go ahead.
Every Monday and Tuesday, your second company program with the one argument.
Just to be clear, Fox.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, let me see.
You have 2 things in holding people to account in terms of prosecutorial action. You have a charge, Zane, and then you have a conviction. It is very clear that there are some folks, yes, the IC folks, they were not really concerned about a conviction, meaning successful trial, and so on, successful proceedings in our criminal justice system. What they really wanted was a charge.
Yes.
Because you hear what Milton harping on, like him slick. What Milton is saying, listen to the logic, because again, come back to the charge business. if you follow Milton's logic or the lack thereof, you will find that what he's saying is that, listen, though you are a citizen in your own right, if you bring an action against the state, you are invariably, yes, in an invidious position and an untenable position. So because the Prime Minister has brought and is seeking judicial review, Milton is contending quite in a most asinine way, in a very silly way, that the Prime Minister should essentially vacate office as Prime Minister. Total rubbish. So the idea is this: if the IC, having undertook its investigation, got to the point where charges were proffered against the Prime Minister, many of the people who are silent now, with crime going down, Jeanette Calder of JAMP, Daniel Archer of National Integrity Action, Carol Narcisse of, what they call it, what she fears something name, Civil Society Coalition name, Michael Jackson of JFJ, all of those civil society folks will be, who are silent now, would be making a lot of noise, and they'll be very vocal, because the point they would make is that, well, though he's not convicted of any wrongdoing, the fact that the Prime Minister has had charges laying against him by the IC, his position as Prime Minister is untenable, because these are no ordinary charges. These are charges for illicit enrichment, and therefore the Prime Minister has to vacate office. Him have to come down.
You don't know what they must say, man. And just to go a little bit further, my brethren, I hear the PNP is trying to say that the government and we handle Holness was rolled out in his blue. I was in my blue, you was in your blue, and certainly members of his security force was in their blue, and some other business people. And I'm hearing the PNP carrying an argument that the government is trying to separate the people them from the police. Oh, what rubbish. Oh, what rubbish. Can anyone read a nationwide and side was having a headache? Because some people are saying that when someone asks the question, if a shootout between the police and gunmen, who you think should win? Some people can't simply say, Marlon, that the police should win. Some people can't say it because they know some of them son, the nigger and the grandson, and them family are mixed up.
Them compromised.
With these gunmen.
But you remember in the Bible, where it is said that for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Well, for those of us who are law-abiding, well-thinking, and decent Jamaicans, for us and our house, we will abide by the law and indeed urge persons to comply with the law. We are not upon the side of criminality.
Give me 30 seconds.
No, man, you can use more than that, man. You have another 3 minutes.
When Marsh and Hall and Milton and Salah and the one who love come and say, big up Damian Crawford.
Country from North America.
When they come, you have one that mobile name come ready. Him not call you, you know. Him not call you. But when they come,
they don't have the fortitude to do that.
No, they don't have the guts. When they come, tell them say facts say. We tell them say, whether they like it, the Prime Minister is going to be there for a third term. And Bob Marley sing a song. They might go tired, to see we face. Can't get me out of the race. Marlon, keep it good, Senator. Keep the fire burning with it on the ground.
Yeah, just ask my producer kindly to cue up that hit immortalized in song by the late, great Robert Nesta Marley. Yes? As suggested by, well, as noted by Fox just now. We will get to it in a moment. But one of the things I keep coming back to is that opinions will vary, recollections will vary, and people's views, particularly their political views, will vary. I'm trying to remember I'm a bit tired for seeing my face. I'm trying to remember what the title of it is. bad card. A bad card it name. Them a draw a bad card. Something to that effect. Anyway. So those things will diverge. But let us just step back for a moment. Hold our political sympathies aside and just look at what is before us. Jamaica has long spoken about a rural school bus system. Who is making it happen? We have long spoken about the issues at Cornwall Regional. From 2006, there were noxious fumes there. Who is finally sorting out Cornwall Regional Hospital? And of course, we have long spoken about the crime, the scourge of murders in the country. Which administration is sorting out the scourge of murders in the country? The answer is very clear. And in keeping with that suggestion by Fox a while ago, because the stewardship, because the actions, the actual performance, the evidence, the facts underscore and acquit the incumbent government, there's no denying, and should be no denying that we're not in a better place as a country. Are we a perfect society? No. We have ills that we are ironing out and working to remedy. We want our roads to be in an even more pristine condition. Every community in Jamaica should have street light. Every community in Jamaica, I dare say, should have broadband connectivity. You should have internet access, whether you are Tapanaris or not, whether you're from uptown, downtown, round town, yeah? Whether you're from urban Jamaica or rural Jamaica, whether you're gay or straight, you should have internet connectivity in the country. And those are the things that we're striving to achieve as a people. And because the Prime Minister and the administration he leads have been acquitting themselves so well, this hit by Bob Marley is quite opportune and fitting on a morning like this, as Fox suggested earlier. It up, and we're moving to another discussion where we're putting the spotlight on the business of credit cards. Now, on the line with us this morning is Karine Mason Dennis. She is team lead